So lymphatic drainage for the face has been all the rage over on TikTok.
This lymphatic drainage massage has been one of the best things for my hormone imbalance, PCOS related face swelling. I do this every single day. It's easy. All you need is your hands. I start with opening up my lymph nodes under my arms. I do gentle circular motions on each side. Then I do circular motions on my chest, moving towards my underarms. Sometimes I'll even do sweeping motions. Next, I do gentle pumping motions above the collarbone, and then sweeping motions from the bottom of my jaw to the top of my collarbone. I'm doing pumping motions again under the ears, in front of the ears, by my nostrils, and by my inner eyes. Now I take my knuckles and glide outwards underneath my jaw, down to my collarbone. I do the same thing on my jaw, hugging my jawline with my knuckles. Now making an L shape with my hands, I'm using my fingers to hug my cheeks and glide outwards. Now I'm doing gentle circular motions around the eye, releasing any of that pressure around my brows. Now on the forehead, I use my fingers to go upwards and outwards. When I'm done, I sweep my hands from my forehead all the way down to my neck and chest. This makes my face feel lifted and toned immediately and feels so much better.
I'm going to do lymphatic drainage on one half of my face.
Look at those results.
I'm sure we have all seen some kind of face sculpting tool on TikTok.
So doing this creates space for the fluids to drain out of your face and be disposed of.
And Instagram as well for quite some time now, with people posting pretty impressive before and afters incorporating this technique. Everyone these days is interested in the quote-unquote snatched look of a defined jawline, high cheekbones, and smooth, shiny skin. People claim that employing lymphatic drainage techniques for the face can help achieve a more sculpted jawline, lift saggy skin, and give an overall more radiant, youthful glow to the skin. Is there any truth to this, or is it just another TikTok woo-woo wellness fad? The lymphatics are a series of interconnected ducts and nodes that drain excess fluid from tissues back into the blood circulation. Proponents of lymphatic drainage claim that it helps detoxify the skin. While it's true that our lymphatic system plays a key role in immune function, and white blood cells that fight off infection are made in lymph nodes, purifying the skin of toxins is not really the function of the lymphatics. It's essentially a system that helps to remove excess fluid accumulation from tissues, including the skin. Lymphatic drainage techniques, without a doubt, can help facilitate the return of fluid accumulation in the skin back to the blood circulation via the lymphatics. However, for most otherwise healthy people, this would occur regardless of lymphatic drainage techniques. Proponents of lymphatic drainage claim that you need to encourage the lymphatics, but in otherwise healthy people who don't have any underlying health problems, this happens regardless of you doing this technique. It may speed it up a little bit, so if you're impatient, you want to get that fluid out faster, then yeah, this likely will help. There are certain health conditions that can lead to accumulation of fluid in the tissues, lymphedema. For example, you can have something going on that puts pressure on the superior vena cava. That's the giant vein that drains deoxygenated blood from your head back to your heart directly. There's something pressing on that. You have a backflow and you can get facial swelling. People might experience facial swelling as part of an allergic reaction. If that's the case, you're going to have other symptoms like shortness of breath, perhaps difficulty breathing. You may even break out into hives. In that case, lymphatic drainage massage is not going to be at the top of your mind because that is often a more life-threatening situation that requires immediate medical attention. The majority of skin conditions, including skin conditions on the face, are not the result of buildup of lymphatic fluid, poor lymphatic drainage. There's a subtype of rosacea that leads to facial swelling. It's called Morbihan's disease. Interestingly enough, there are some studies, albeit small, looking at different techniques that, when you actually look into them, are kind of akin to lymphatic drainage that have been shown to help improve this accumulation of swelling in these rarer subtypes of rosacea. Who here has ever overindulged a bit in high salty foods and then woken up the following morning and their face is a little bit puffy? That accumulation of fluid can be returned back to the circulatory system a little bit more expeditiously, perhaps by lymphatic drainage, but it will go back regardless. It's not as though the lymphatics are plugged up or need some encouragement to get things back on track. If It will happen regardless. And it also will happen as you go from lying down to standing up. Gravity will help drain that fluid back to the heart. There's the claim that lymphatic drainage has a lifting and tightening effect. Well, the skin can appear tighter as you get that fluid out of that tissue, but again, that will happen regardless. But can it actually have a lifting effect? No, this is not possible. Saggy skin has to do with a variety of things, such as loss of collagen and elastin, the supportive framework in the skin, as well as change in the underlying supportive framework of your face. With age, we have bone resorption, and we get a descent of the fat pads in our face downward, and a lot of that can lead to sagging, especially in the lower face. You might start to have jowls, for example. People who claim that lymphatic drainage will help lift that up, that's not true. The way in which these things form has nothing to do with our lymphatics. The root cause of sagging in the lower face has nothing to do with our lymphatics. It has nothing to do with accumulation of toxins, and even if it did, facilitating lymphatic drainage is not going to actually eliminate any toxin if there ever was one. Remember, it's our liver and our kidneys that deal with metabolism of toxins and excretion of them, not our skin. Our skin is not a detoxifying organ. It doesn't contain the enzymes necessary to break down toxins into metabolites that are excreted. We don't have swelling in the face or saggy skin or a less defined jawline because of accumulation of toxins. Now, one thing that lymphatic drainage can also offer is that as you are doing this technique, which is a lighter form of facial massage in a sense, it's not quite the same as massage, which is a deeper pressure. Lymphatic drainage is a lighter hand, if you will. What this can help with is improved circulation, blood flow, which can give the skin a more radiant glow. About a month ago at this point, I did a video all about the benefits of scalp massage for healthy hair growth. And part of how that works is by encouraging good circulation to nourish the follicle and get it back into the growing phase of the hair cycle, helping in theory to deliver growth factors to that miniaturized hair follicle, getting you perhaps better growth. You can experience this type of radiant glow, however, by being active, walking around, for example, which as a side note can help facilitate better lymphatic drainage from the lower legs. Some fluid that accumulates in tissues, whether it be our face or lower legs, will also be removed through lymphatics as our muscles contract and push that fluid back up through the lymphatics to the heart. Manually compressing these structures does help facilitate that as well, similar to muscle contraction. So what about these results then that people are showing when they show the before and afters? Without a doubt, lymphatic drainage techniques can help slim, depuff, and sculpt the jawline, the lower face, and may also help with sculpting the cheekbones a bit. But it's important to understand that this effect is temporary. It's just temporarily helping to facilitate return of that fluid accumulation to the heart. So you need to do this on a regular basis. Is it harmful to do this? Absolutely not. However, there are some situations where you might want to reconsider doing lymphatic drainage techniques. While I said that it can be perhaps helpful for one subtype of rosacea, Morbihan's disease, you want to be really careful if you have rosacea doing lymphatic massage, because that potentially could aggravate the skin, especially as it's improving circulation. It might actually precipitate a flush. If you have an active acne breakout, I would suggest avoiding lymphatic drainage over an active breakout. Lymphatic drainage might involve using either your hands or a tool like a jade roller or gua sha, but the underlying principle is the same, facilitating fluid return to the blood circulation back to the heart, having a temporary depuffing effect. Outside of these techniques, which again are only temporary, I also suggest being mindful of your salt consumption. High salt diets lead to fluid retention that can leave the face looking puffy and swollen. People who sleep on their stomach tend to wake up with a puffy face. Instead, try sleeping on your back with the head slightly elevated. This can help facilitate drainage of fluid back to the heart as you sleep, so when you wake up, your face is not as puffy. All right, so that is lymphatic drainage for the face, a really popular, trendy technique that can temporarily help facilitate that snatched look that is oh so popular, but keep in mind it is temporary and is not actively changing your face, just simply helping to facilitate drainage of fluid back to your heart, something your lymphatics will do otherwise, unless you have some rare underlying health problem like superior vena cava syndrome. Your body can do this without the help of lymphatic drainage. All right, you guys, I really hope this video was helpful. If you all enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.